land on the whole fill the internet with dark energy theory? Well, because of me, the entire internet's filled with dark energy.
What?
What?
Very good. Now my plans for world domination will come to fruition. Ha 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 ha! Now, how do I get out of this chair?
Try standing?
You think I haven't already tried that? No. Only a review of pure subjectivity could break the bonds that hold me.
I mean, I guess one of us could review it. I know this human, sinewy walnut. One of us could take his place and review the season as a walnut. Yes.
Very good. Now, which of you will do it?
Me!
Meeny, meeny, miny, mo, can't do that. You, Greeno.
Yes!
Damn it.
So fair! Eat it, bitch! Peace, y'all.
Damn it. I wanna be the walnut.
I could have done it good.
Okay. Hi guys! I'm Sinewy Walnut. I swear. And today we're going to the circus. So, I have to be honest, this is the first season that I ever owned on DVD. And actually it's the only season I've ever owned on DVD of the original dub by Cloverway. And so there's a bit of bias here in that I do like this season because it's very nostalgic for me, but at the same time it is ridiculously weird. I honestly have no idea what they were thinking here. I think season 1, evil aliens. Season 2, we've got our, futuristic terrorists. Season 3, these space demon witches things. And season 4, evil space circus performers. And a queen in a mirror. But anyway, Naoko Takeuchi obviously knew what she was doing or else she wouldn't have written this, and I have to admit, it is at least an interesting arc, even though I don't necessarily think it is the best. So what even happened last season? Well, after the big bad of last season got destroyed by Sailor Saturn, Sailor Moon kind of took her baby form back from the Tau Nebula monster Pharaoh 90. Pluto and Uranus and Neptune took Saturn in baby-ized form and left the show to raise her again. And basically the chalice is now gone, so Sailor Moon doesn't have her super mega awesome butterfly power. In comes a circus during an eclipse, and basically now no one seems to care that there's a giant circus tent, kind of like, it's hard to explain the structure of it, but it kind of goes whoop, like right in. It doesn't look right. Like I feel like in real life you'd know that it just couldn't be right, but whatever. And basically the circus is kind of run secretly by this queen who's stuck behind a mirror who is searching for a Pegasus. And this Pegasus hides in people's dream mirrors where he has a crystal that she wants, and so she has this physical body, but his spirit in the form of a Pegasus is hiding somewhere, and it turns out that it is hiding with Rini, and it gives Sailor Moon and Rini a power-up, so it takes the form of the chalice this season. Also, speaking of crystals, there is another crystal advancement, and this time it is the golden crystal. No relation exactly to the silver crystal in the anime and the manga. There actually is, but we'll get to that. We're back to only having 5 main Sailor Scouts, and this season Rini joins in more of the action. By the way, this season, in order to transform, Serena and Rini have to transform together, and to attack, Rini must use her only power to call Pegasus so Sailor Moon can use his power to attack. This season was really big on the mother-daughter thing, which is strange. Why is this? Because Rini is not Sailor Moon, like current Sailor Moon's daughter. Rini is future Sailor Moon's daughter. We're talking like hundreds of years in the future she has a daughter, and for whatever reason Rini doesn't age. But current Sailor Moon is about 15 years old, and her daughter, who is like 8 or 9, is like, well, I don't know if she's 8 or 9, but I'm just guessing she's 8 or 9, is walking around current day Tokyo with her, and they just refer to her as mother-daughter, which is so strange to me. And the other scouts refer to her as mother-daughter, and Sailor Moon and Rini kind of bond this season. They still have that weird dynamic of like siblings who don't always get along, but they sometimes do. And then other times they act like a mother and daughter, and there's a lot of themes of dreams this season, and Sailor Moon is always there to support her daughter's dreams. Well, it's not quite as bad as it sounds, so let's talk about the new baddies. These guys belong to the Dead Moon Circus, a group of antagonists that Queen Helena has manipulated into helping her. In true Sailor Moon fashion, we get two quirky mini-boss squads, each with their own theme, a pseudo-antagonist and a big bad. But this season sets its typical bad guy structure apart from the other season, but only because they have a bit more wiggle room with the circus setting. On top of that, I think they have the most interesting use of monsters in the show as a whole. This time, the monsters of the episodes are the Lemure, or the Remless in the Cloverway dub, performers from the circus ship. It's interesting because in previous seasons, the evil locales look empty apart from their higher-ups and the rare appearance of a monster. This time, however, we get a glimpse at some interesting Lemures in a few sequences. On top of this, the Lemures are typically circus-themed as well. So some will be based on circus acts and others around circus objects, such as balls or balloons. Also interestingly, the Lemures are only sent out to fight the Senshi, and in all other seasons, minus a few daemons, the monsters of the week serve a purpose, to gather energy or to find a heart crystal, blah blah blah. But Lemures just attack when the Sailor Scouts interfere with the bad guys. By the way, the Lemures are later revealed to be former subjects of Queen Helena, who took their dream mirrors, subsequently corrupting them. Amazon Trio. The first mini-boss squad introduced, they are based on animals. In fact, each one was an animal, a tiger, a fish, and a hawk, before they were turned into humans to serve Queen Helena. As implied, there are 3, and each one is sent out randomly to search for Pegasus in a dream mirror. They use a board of sorts to restrain their victims. And then basically pull the crystal, dream mirror out of them. Ew. Anyway. Tiger's Eye.
You shouldn't be such a sore loser, Rooster Head.
Is the most brash and ruthless. Always using a whip, he typically targets younger girls. Ew. And often flirted with them before revealing his true nature and attacking. A womanizer, and extremely confident, he likes to compete with Hawkeye. Though it is clear that he respects his teammates immensely. Hawkeye.
I think I'll make my move. Oh, Mina.
Is the most cocky. As his name implies, he was a hawk before becoming a human. And his weird loop teleporty thing seems to link to that. Anyway, he attacks with fire. And where Tiger's Eye went for younger women, Hawkeye went for older women. Yeah, he also wears a tunic bra dress and the muscles. Fisheye.
Please! You shouldn't fight over me like this! Oh, please!
Huh?
I said you shouldn't fight over me like this!
Get a life!
Is a man. In the manga and the Japanese version of the anime, Fisheye is a man who enjoys being feminine and looking like a woman. So when Cloverway got their hands on this season, they thought it best to just make her a woman. Which I honestly have no issues with. You go, Fisheye. He is the most playful and always targets men, and his lemures are usually men as well. He attacks using throwing knives and can render people unconscious using a beam of water. It's clear that both Hawkeye and Tiger's Eye care deeply for their friend, going so far as Hawkeye getting shot through the chest protecting him. In the end, all 3 are killed by a lemure sent by the next mini-boss squad, and are turned back into animals. Pegasus brings them back to life and makes them human forever, even giving them their own dream mirrors. Amazon Quartet. Yes! Yeah, I have to admit, these guys are my favorite mini-boss squad. They're just so energetic and animated and devious, and they always have like a lot of fun. They clearly love misbehaving, and it shows in just the way that they behave and their demeanor. And they have no problem letting their bosses and everyone else know exactly what they think and exactly what they want. They're a lot younger than the trio, and rather than being based on animals, they're based on circus acts. Each one is color coordinated and is given a ball similar to a pool ball. They use this to basically knock their victim's dream mirror out. Also, their hair. Just their hair. Pala Pala
Let's play Dream Pool. Blondie, this ball's for you. Yikes!
is the second oldest, though she acts extremely childish. Playful and often whiny, her schemes often involve childish things. Her circus act is balancing on a large ball, her voice is high-pitched, and her overall attitude is very positive and high energy. She's known to be sporadically kind, but ultimately self-serving. Junjun
This is perfect, but I wasn't sure. Now I know it is. This could get very interesting. Okay.
is the harsh-voiced tomboy of the quartet. She is a resident acrobat, and so she's usually the most animated. She's often seen bouncing around, swinging on objects, and generally doing acrobatic things. She's definitely the toughest, and her lemures are always male. Overall, her general aesthetic is my favorite of the quartet. Sere Sere.
Seeds of unhappiness grow.
She's the oldest quartet member. As a circus trapeze artist, she's often seen swinging around and is usually the most elegant and graceful of the four. She is also linked to plants, and she is known to use plants to attack. She's undeniably feminine and can be seen as the second in command, though she's the leader in the manga. Vez Vez.
We were thinking we could run this place better than you. Basu attack!
She's the youngest member of the quartet, though in the anime she appears to be the leader. As the animal tamer, she's the most vicious and tough of the four, rivaling Junjun. She's shown to question authority and at one point openly attacks the clearly more powerful Zirconia because she wants to be in charge. It is later revealed that all four quartet members were promised eternal youth by Queen Nehelenia and given an orb which would keep them young and give them abilities. These orbs are the balls they use to attack and check with dream mirrors. In the end of the anime, the quartet end up siding with Sailor Moon and helping her fight against Queen Nehelenia. After the confrontation, they leave but hope to one day see Sailor Moon again. This isn't the same as their manga portrayal, but we'll get to that later. Zirconia. Once again, we get a sex change in the series. In the Japanese, Zirconia is a woman, but apparently she isn't feminine enough for Cloverway, so we get a man in the English dub.
The name is Zirconia. Zirconia, not Zirk, or Zirky, or Zirko, and certainly not Zirk the Jerk. Got it? Good.
Honestly, I really don't have much to say. She's much less interesting than any of the other pseudo-antagonists. She does pretty much the same. Sit with a mystical object and yell at the mini-boss squads. I mean, at least Beryl, Diamond, and even Tomo get more involved in the fight later on. And I guess Zirconia does to a degree, but honestly, she doesn't do much apart from yelling. Queen Nehelenia. Now we're getting an interesting villain. She's probably my favorite big bad. Not only is she designed brilliantly, meant to mirror Princess Serenity, but she's portrayed very well. Conniving, ruthless, and downright evil, but she's still dignified and regal.
The seal is broken. Let darkness begin.
She sticks out really well against the circus setting, and I feel like that's the point. She's trying to find a golden crystal so she can take over the world. Like Metalia, Wiseman, and Pharaoh 90, she gathers a group to do her dirty work. However, unlike Pharaoh 90, she actually has ties to Sailor Moon's past. In the Silver Millennium, remember? The era long before modern day when Serena's ancestor, Princess Serenity, existed? Queen Nehelenia ruled over her own moon kingdom and was loved and adored. However, she became obsessed with staying young forever, so she basically made her subjects sacrifice their dream mirror so she could stay young forever. In that way, she created her Legion of Lemures, created the Dead Moon Circus, and created Zirconia from her fears of getting old. Even though she was young forever, she was still jealous of the Moon Kingdom, where Princess Serenity lived. She attempted to get the Gold Crystal, which basically is the opposite to Sailor Moon's Silver Crystal, and was thwarted by Princess Serenity. As punishment for her misdeeds, Queen Helenia was sealed inside a mirror. In the end, she is thwarted by Sailor Moon in the present day, even after escaping from her prison. She turns old and ugly and voluntarily returns to her mirror to become young again.
I shall never doubt the power of innocent I shall never doubt the dreams of innocent children. I'll cherish living all alone forever with my dreams. I'll be beautiful always. I will be forever young and beautiful.
Now, about the good guys. There's one new good guy. Pegasus. Yes. One new good guy, and he's not even technically human until like the last 20 minutes of the show, maybe, if that. There isn't much to say about him beyond the fact that he hides in Rini's dreams, he talks about her. And I mean, yeah, he does help give Rini and Sailor Moon a power-up. But honestly, really, he's just there to say, like, you have to protect me, you have to stop the evil. Point is, Queen Helena needs to not. In terms of the story for the Sailor Scouts, the girls continue to get older and move on in classes, which is something I really haven't talked about. Honestly, I don't like to talk about the Sailor Scouts' personal lives in these videos, because as I've said before, they're mainly incidental to the plot of the arc. You lose very little by me skipping over how Serena got attention that one time, or how Amy doubted herself briefly. If I actually took time to explain all the little things that go down in their lives, oh man, these videos would be very long. No, we're just gonna focus on their lives as Sailor Scouts. Well, speaking of, guess who gets a power-up this season? The Scouts. Yeah, that's right. Last season they didn't really get a power-up, but this season they do, and it comes in a new spiffy little thingy with a ball on it, and it spins and they do the thing. Sailor Moon gets a kaleidoscope weapon thingy. It's like a kaleidoscope wand sword that she uses as a weapon, but as I said before, the only way she can really use it is if Rini kind of does this thing, and then she can do her little flailing about and basically slices and dices these villains to shatter them. It's kind of weird considering that the whole season Sailor Moon isn't actually using a power-up that uses her own power. And I just feel like it's almost like a step sideways. She can't use her attack, her only attack without Pegasus, and I just don't know how I feel about that. So, what's Nui Walnut do now?
The differences!
Oh, right. The golden crystal that Helios, Pegasus, has is not only equal in power to the silver crystal, but is actually basically its mirror opposite. It's essentially King Endymion Darien's crystal. This explains why it's as powerful as the silver crystal, and is why Sailor Moon can use its power to increase her own. It's not a huge change, but it gives the arc more continuity in my opinion. Plus, given the context of the next arc, its important plot point is to help explain why Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask have a crystal. Also, the golden crystal is hidden inside Darien in the manga, but in the anime, it resides on Pegasus' forehead. In the manga, the Amazon Quartet are Sailor Scouts who are brainwashed by Queen Helena. When they remember, they swear loyalty to Sailor Moon. They also receive sailor outfits that resemble the Sailor Squads. Not only this, but they are the protectors of Sailor Mini Moon in the future, essentially playing the same role for Rini that the Inner Senshi do for Sailor Moon. Artemis and Luna, the Sailor Squad Cat Guardians, get their human forms in the manga. In the manga, Nehelenia placed a curse on Serenity at birth, putting strain on Serena and Darien's health in the present. At one point, they even cough up black blood. The outer Senshi, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune are actually present for a while in the manga version of the arc. Rini's silver crystal is converted into a pink crystal in the manga. Sailor Moon and Rini get weapons in the manga, and they can talk. They even explain their own abilities. These weapons were created by Pegasus basically blessing ordinary kaleidoscope, which is the first time this happened in the manga. In the manga, from the beginning, Ray, Sailor Mars, has two guardian crows, Phobos and Deimos, who become human as well. There we have it. The dream arc of Sailor Moon is done. Wow, what an interesting but odd season this was. Despite the fact that it is the most seemingly random season, it's pretty unique, and I know I say that a lot, but I have to admit, it is very unique. Does that mean good? Not necessarily. Honestly, I'm not sure if continuity-wise and, like, flow, it really fits. I mean, continuity, it does fit, but flow, not so much. It just feels like it's its own thing off on the side, and you can kind of leave it and not really lose that much. I do like that in terms of animations, music, characters, monsters, everything else. They did give you Evil Circus. You get Evil Circus. This is a very theme-heavy season. More so than I want to say any other season. And I know I've said, you know, oh, every season is cool because you can tell the difference between every place that they are. And That is true. Each evil place and everything looks different. But this season, more than anything, they really incorporate the whole evil place. The whole circus theme is really colorful and interesting and unique. The fact that I had this on DVD does give me a bit of a bias, but honestly, I like this season. Even if it's not good, I don't really think it's up to par with some of the other seasons of Sailor Moon, but I do really like this season. So bad news, guys. This was the last season of Sailor Moon translated into English by Cloverway. So for a long time, us viewers who watched Sailor Moon on TV originally were met with a sad, sad realization that Sailor Moon was over at the end of this season. No big climax, no big revelation, it was just kind of over after season 4. There was actually a 5th season which was never dubbed into English until quite recently. Now they're doing a redub of Sailor Moon and they're going to be getting 2 stars, but at the moment there is no official English dub of Sailor Moon Stars, which is the 5th season. But I'm still going to be covering it. Unfortunately, you know, there won't be any voice clips or anything, what can you do? But I want to finish off strong. So we have to get through one more season, even if it's not dubbed in English. Also, you guys should strap in for the next season, because it is probably the darkest of all the seasons. It is definitely the heaviest, so expect a longer video, I guess, but we have a lot to cover next video. So, get ready. We're heading to the stars. Sailor Moon Stars. Season 5. Tsunami Walnut. I've returned with a review of Pure Subjectivity.
Oh, so subjective. Wow. Pure wow.
Yeah, well, I could have done it better.
Whatever.
Yes! Yes! I'm standing! Now I can take over the world. But first, is anyone in the mood for Taco Bell? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that.
I guess.
So let's keep it cheap.
Yep. The Holderness Loco! You copied my jump, you bitch!